One's here. The
Hey,
gun
that's
are dog shit.
That's Update 5 in a nutshell. On October the 4th at 9 PM Central European Time, they dropped Update 5. And I was quite hyped about it, because there hasn't been an update for over a month now, but the update was controversial to say the least. Let's go through the balance changes one by one. There's now a mechanic called damage drop-off. Basically, the further away you are from an enemy, the less damage you do. This applies to most hit scan weapons. For the AR and the burst, the crit multiplier has been reduced to 1.25. On a flamethrower, the damage has been buffed by 0.5, the reach has increased by 3 studs, the air blast force has been increased by 50%, and the air blast cooldown has been reduced to 4 seconds. 50% might not sound like a lot, but this allows you to do shit like this.
bin an der Wand. Unter dir und jetzt fest.
Moving on, for weapons like grenade launcher and RPG, there's now a difference in damage if you hit them directly or not. The grenade launcher now does 100 damage if you hit the enemy directly and 35 if you don't hit him directly, and the RPG does 150 and 50. Furthermore, the projectile hitbox has been increased to 0.5 for the grenade launcher and to 1 stud for the rocket launcher. The paintball's damage has been increased to 20, the crit multiplier has been set to 1. The splat mechanic has been changed, it has more ammo in reserve and the reload time is faster. The minigun has now 9 instead of 8 damage and it has 300 ammo. The secondaries got changed up quite a bit as well. The Exo now has the same mechanic as the RPG or the grenade launcher, with a direct hit dealing 28 and a splash dealing 6 damage. The crit multiplier and the damage have been decreased from the handgun and the Uzi. Furthermore, ADSing with the Uzi now has a spread of 3 degrees. The slingshot's damage has been decreased, but the multiplier has been increased to 2. The projectile speed has also been halved, but the elasticity has been doubled. While testing, I found out that enemies over 50 studs away from you sometimes just don't want to take damage. The revolver has been buffed with a quicker equip time and a higher damage, which allows it to 3-shot enemies in close ranges again. The flare gun now has 2 charges and you get a 10% speed buff. Now onto the melee weapons. The fists were buffed again. For the katana's right click, the cooldown has been reduced to 4 seconds, but the duration has also been reduced to only 1 second. The scythe's damage has been reduced to 45. The trowel's damage has been buffed to 50 and the cooldown for building has been reduced to 4 seconds. Now onto the utility. You can shoot the grenade mid-air to let it explode prematurely. The smoke has been reworked, giving you 3 charges at the start of each round, and the projectiles now pop on impact. The amount you get flashed while a flashbang is not on your screen has been decreased by 75%. The trip mine has been reworked as well, having 2 max charges at the start of each round, a slight damage increase, and the knockback has been decreased by 20%. The freeze ray has been reworked as well, having only 1 ammo, but the frozen enemy cannot use their weapon nor the camera. The amount you get while quick healing has been reduced from 37.5 to 30, and the healing is now cancelled if you take any kind of damage. This update wasn't just full of controversial balance changes, it also had a lot of new content, like finishers and new game modes, etc. It also had a lot of bug fixes. For example, the speed glitch got fixed. And the balance changes themselves, they are not 100% bad. I like most of the changes. The idea with the damage drop off at a distance is amazing because honestly, you shouldn't be able to laser someone across the entire map on like big crossroads or something. And also, the secondary, it's supposed to be a secondary, it's not supposed to be as strong as primary weapons. This is why I think the handgun and Uzi changes are completely fine. But then why would you make the RPG deal 150 damage and the grenade launcher 100 damage? These 2 weapons are explosives, they deal AoE damage. They are good, at least they used to be good, at dealing some damage to multiple targets. Weapons like the AR and the burst rifle used to be good at dealing a lot of damage to a single target. Now the single target damage of the AR and the burst rifle got nerfed, while the single target damage for AoE weapons got buffed through the roof. How does it make sense that a weapon that is designed to deal some damage to multiple targets is better in single target damage than a weapon that is specializing in single target damage? For the RPG you could say, yeah, you only have 1 shot and if you miss it, the enemy is going to kill you if he has an AR. But for the grenade launcher, as you're going to see in the background, you just spam it and at some point the enemy is just going to die. And my second point, if you're going to nerf the handgun and the Uzi, because they're almost as strong as the primary weapons, why would you increase the damage on the exogun and the revolver? I know the exo has been reworked and it only does 6 splash damage, but even if it doesn't have any splash damage at all, it still has an extremely quick reload time and does almost the same DPS as the burst rifle. And not to forget, the damage drop off on the exo is way better than on the burst rifle. With the revolver it's the same thing, you can almost kill an enemy in the exact same amount of time as with the AR. Now guys, as much as some of us don't like the update nor the balance traces, we still have to give the developers time. After all, they're all human, they can make mistakes, and we shouldn't just straight up start bashing on them. Yes, I think it's their responsibility and they should also be bringing out another balance update of some sort to balance out the damage values. But it's also our responsibility as a community to give them time. They're still human, they can make mistakes, and sometimes life just doesn't go the way you want it to go, and you just have to live with it. I would suggest to keep the direct hit mechanic. Instead, we should probably level out the damage values a little bit. For example, for the grenade launcher, you could have something like splash damage at 40, while the direct hit is either at 55 or 60, so that you still get rewarded for being accurate. For the RPG it could be something like 65 to 85, where if you hit the enemy once directly, he only needs 2 shots. And for the secondaries, I just say reduce the damage of the exo and the revolver. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like or something. More videos are coming, so stay tuned.